Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Ethos Lakers podcast. And here to recap another game, second night of a back to back, second night of back to back losses. And I am pretty much at my frustration point with Darvin Ham, the lineups that he's going with, just everything that worked about him last season just isn't working this season. His sort of calm demeanor kind of seemed to work for the team last year. It's not working for them this year. Anytime the Lakers are in dire straits, he's just standing there with his hands in his pockets. Doesn't looks like he doesn't know what's going on. Looks like he doesn't know what to do. It looks like the players have lost it with him. It looks like he's lost the locker room. If that was what did in Adrian Griffin, and that should certainly be what does Darvin Ham in. But yes, second visual episode of the Ethos Lakers podcast, recapping the loss to the Atlanta Hawks last night. I'm your host, JC DeLeon. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at JC DeLeon1. You can follow the show on those same platforms at Ethos Lakers, and you can follow the other co-host of the show, Ethan Noroff, at Twitter, Ethan_Noroff. And so, without any further ado, let's just get into these damn highlights. So the game actually starts out pretty nice. We've got a nice drive from Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves, he's shooting he's shooting about 34% from three this year, which is down from last year. But one thing he's still really good at is finishing at the rim. He excels at a really high rate at finishing above the rim. He's somewhere close to 70%, which is outstanding. Lakers get out to a hot start. They get out to a 5-point lead. LeBron makes the free throw on the and one there, and it's pretty much downhill from there. It was a DeJounte Murray show. And as we've talked about, DeJounte Murray is kind of one of the players that's been talked about who's going to be potentially traded for D'Angelo Russell. And, last night I was of the thought that I kind of want D'Angelo Russell to stay. There, you're actually seeing, he misses a three-pointer there. DeJounte Murray gets a fast break layup. It's the thing about so here's basically what you would lose, what you'd gain. So what I like about D'Angelo Russell, I like that he's a left-handed point guard. I like that he's a good three-point shooter. I like his sort of slow and then quick pace when he runs pick and rolls, and he seems to run it really well with Anthony Davis. What you'd be gaining with DeJounte Murray is you'd be gaining a slightly better mid-range scorer, a slightly better mid-range shooter. He's not quite the three-point shooter that D'Angelo Russell is, but he is a much better defender, and he's taller than D'Angelo Russell. So the Lakers lineup potentially gets bigger. I do think he would play well with Austin Reaves. The skill set is offensively is similar enough. I think D'Angelo is probably a better passer. He's a more true point guard. But here's the realization I came to when it comes to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, he comes up big in certain moments. He doesn't come up big all the time, but he comes up big in certain moments, which is nice. But he's not completely reliable. And as I'm thinking about things that I like about him, there's a weird lingering thought in the back of my mind. And this morning, it just kind of hit me. And it's the reason why I'm now okay with D'Angelo Russell being traded, because he's a poor man's James Harden. A poor man's James Harden. Left-handed point guard, good passer, good three-point shooter, not a great defender. Plays really good in January. And one of my biggest harps about James Harden, and one of the reasons why I dislike him as much as I do, is because I've always said he's really good at January basketball. January basketball doesn't mean a whole lot. And it doesn't mean a whole lot for the Lakers now. D'Angelo Russell hit that crazy shot against Golden State that gave us the lead, that gave the Lakers the lead in the final minute of that second overtime. That's fantastic. Can he do that in June? Can he do it in the playoffs? And I don't know that D'Angelo Russell can. I'm now okay with DeJounte Murray being traded for D'Angelo Russell. I do think that the net gain way outweighs what the Lakers would lose. And DeJounte Murray in this game put forth a hell of an audition. Jackson Hayes started in this game, which is kind of one of the controversial things that came out of this game. Christian Wood earlier before the game, he says he mistakenly did it, but he just tweeted out the words LOL. And some people are likening that to that's his response to being told that he wasn't starting tonight. Christian Wood has been playing fantastic this season. I think he's been playing great. I love his effort with all the things that you hear about him and his response and his maturity and his attitude in the locker room. I think he's been great because I think his effort has been really good and he's been a good 3 point shooting center for this team. When he gets DNP CDs, I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why Darvin doesn't see the value in what Christian Wood brings to the table. And tonight, and granted, tonight it may just be, yeah, let's see what Jackson Hayes can do in the starting lineup. But you do that when you've got a winning record. You do that when you've got room to spare and you've got room to experiment. The time to experiment is over. And speaking of time, LeBron James. LeBron James, in his masterful way of just puppeteering the internet and NBA Twitter, simply sent out an hourglass emoji on Twitter last night after the game. Now, the interesting thing about this hourglass emoji, there are a couple different emojis in the iPhone system. There's one where the sand is running, and then there's one where the sand is completely at the bottom, which means you have run out of time. And that's the one that LeBron tweeted last night. And what that means is anybody's guess. He was asked a question post game about what message he has for his teammates, and he seemed like he wanted to really go off on his teammates, but he basically simply just said, "I don't have a message for my teammates. Just do your job."
Brian, you guys are coach staying on the road for the next couple of games. Big matchup against Boston, big matchup against the Knicks. What would your message be to your teammate, and what can you do yourself, to get the big back on the winning side of things?
I don't have any message for my teammates. Just go out and do your job. I mean, I'm not yet. Appreciate it. Way to cut me off because I was about.
And at this point, it's hard to know who he's really frustrated at. And we're going to talk about, and we're going to end up seeing one of the more frustrating plays I've seen this entire season. It happened in the Rockets game, and it happened again here tonight. And it's just, it may be the most visibly frustrated I've ever seen LeBron. And again, pick and roll. And Anthony Davis isn't there to stop the pick and roll, so Clint Capella is just going to go nuts tonight. And he did just that. He finished with, he got 5 offensive rebounds. I think he had 12 points. He was a beast. Now, Austin Reeves, his ability to run the pick and roll, he does turn the ball over a lot, and then he does get scored on as he did there. Austin Reeves, he gets picked on defensively a lot, which can be a problem. Like you need to be able to scheme defensively around your guys that, aren't potentially, fully there on defense. DeJounte Murray with a nice pass to Sadiq Bey. Austin Reeves making one of his few threes tonight. Austin Reeves finished with 28 points tonight. One of his better offensive games. Didn't get a lot of rebounds, got a few assists. He shot really well. He finished with 28 points, shot 3 for 8 from 3, 10 for 19 from the field. Like, that's the kind of effort you want from him. But DeJounte Murray, again, when he gets to his spots, he's just going to make that mid-range all game long. Here you got LeBron with a good offensive rebound and a good pass to Christian Wood. Christian Wood is finally developing that chemistry with LeBron that I've been wanting to see all season. That was, I think, one of his biggest holdups. Now here again, we're going to rewind it a little bit. We're going to talk about one of the biggest problems that the Lakers have had this season. But back to Christian Wood real quick. So Christian Wood is finally developing that chemistry with LeBron that I've wanted to see all season. It's coming on lately. And as the trade deadline comes, I think it's increasing his value, but I do hope that the Lakers hold on to Jackson Hayes. But here in this next play, so I don't know what the Lakers are thinking defensively. So yeah, there's a shot up. And here's where, two things happen on this play. The Lakers give up an offensive rebound, but as you can see, there are 4 yellow jerseys in the paint. There's 1 black jersey in the paint. How the Atlanta Hawks get this offensive rebound, I have no idea. I have no idea what Max Christie's doing out there way on the left. Presumably, he was challenging Bojan Bogdanovic's shot, and that's how he ended up there. But so you've got four Lakers in the paint. You've got one Atlanta Hawk out here having just shot a three. You've got another Atlanta Hawk out there on the baseline. And then you've got Trae Young, who's a very, very good 3-point shooter just out there. Now, granted, that's Vando's responsibility. Vando is a defensive player. Vando probably wants the rebound, and that's nice to want the rebound, but you've got to know, you've got to have some game awareness. You've got to know what's happening. You have to be aware of your surroundings, and they're just simply not here. They get the offensive rebound. The offensive rebound that even though there's four Lakers there, LeBron doesn't go after it. Uh, Vando doesn't really have a chance at it. Christian Wood doesn't have a chance at it. And then Trae Young is just standing back here. He's going to make that shot 7 out of 10 times when he's that open. One thing that's been pretty nice to see is Vando has been having some pretty good games lately offensively. In this game tonight, he finished with 12 points, got 2 steals. So offensively, Vando's been coming on. If Vando's going to give you 10 points a game, like that's really nice. And Trae Young just delivering an alley oop. The backcourt defense on this team is a big problem. Now, again, giving up a 3-point shot. Now, how Bojan gets this shot off, it's kind of inexcusable. So you're going to have D'Angelo Russell here is guarding Bojan. And at some point, he begins to stray away from Bojan. Why he's going to the center of the court there, I have no idea. I have no idea what he's doing. I have no idea what he's thinking, why he's letting Bojan drift left. But Trae Young recognizes that, and as soon as he does, there's Bojan completely wide open. And he's one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. And that's one of the things that you figure DeJounte Murray can do better. Because it's not so much the on-ball defense, it's the anticipation and the game awareness. And I honestly don't know that D'Angelo Russell's game awareness is all that high with all the things that he does well. And again, Trae Young is a good ball handler. He's a small point guard, but just defending the pick and roll just seems to be like something this team can't do. This team can't defend the 3-point line, can't defend pick and roll. They can run a fast break. If they can manage to get stops, they can run fast breaks, and LeBron still has the engine to drive on, rebounds and steals. Rui had a nice game tonight. Rui finished with 16 points. Rui didn't start. Now, again, it's hard for, there's only 5 spots that can start, and the best lineup for this Lakers team has been Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Vanderbilt, D'Angelo, and Reeves. There's not really room for Rui to start there, but I think Rui should always be the first guy off the bench, and he's not. He's never the first guy off the bench, and he doesn't seem to get the most minutes. And I think it's one of those things. Darvin Ham clearly seems to prefer Taurean Prince over guys like Vando and Rui, and I don't know why. And especially tonight, Rui had 16 points, Vando had 12. I don't remember what Taurean had. I didn't write that in my notes, but it couldn't have been. He was one of the only starters not in double figures for the Lakers. It was just it was a frustrating game. Taurean, I don't even think is in these highlights because that's how non-impactful of a game he had. Defending the 3-point line. Trae Young was 6 for 9 from 3. Now, this is actually a nice play. Now, it's nice to highlight some of the good things. Austin Reeves, LeBron James chemistry. It's always been there. It's crazy that Austin Reeves is a good enough passer to make this kind of pass, but dribbling and pick and roll sometimes he has trouble with. Recognizes that the area there to the right of the screen is completely open. So does LeBron. The two of them are just on a different wavelength when it comes to them playing together. And it's part of the reason. It's one of the things that I think will make Austin stay. I really hope that's the case. Again, when Trae Young is that hot from three, there's just not a whole lot you can do. Here's the one Torian Prince highlight. DeJounte Murray getting to a spot, simply unstoppable. DeJounte Murray, in case you're wondering of how the stats pointed out with, or how the stats finished out with his matchup versus D'Lo. DeJounte Murray, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, shot 11 for 19, 0 for 4 from 3, so he's a Laker already. Got 2 steals, was plus 19 in the plus minus for the game. D'Angelo Russell played 27 minutes. He scored 9 points. Again, Austin Reeves, great at finishing at the basket. And one of the things I think was different about this game for Austin is he was more aggressive in driving to the basket. This is something that Austin Reeves, it depends on the matchup. So last year versus Golden State in the playoff series, you didn't get a lot offensively out of Austin Reeves because his main assignment was to guard Steph Curry. When you're doing that, there's not a whole lot of room for you to do anything offensively. And yeah, there wasn't a whole lot for him to do that series. He had a good game offensively versus Golden State on Sunday or Saturday, but in a game like this where he doesn't necessarily have to guard somebody like Steph Curry who's running around constantly, he's got the energy to drive to the basket. When he does that, he's going to have a nice 20-point game for you. Now, Austin Reeves, similar game to DeJounte Murray. When he gets to his spot in the mid-range like that, he gets to the free throw line, good mid-range shooter. Here he's going to make a three, which is nice. Banked it in, but still nice for him to make that. He's a capable three-point shooter. Now, for the season, he's 34%, like I said, but that factors in the bad start and the slow start that he had this season. Lately, I think Austin Reeves has been shooting a lot better from three. Turnovers are still a problem, though, for him. And again, you're going to run this fast break. The modern fast breaks today, they don't want layups, or a lot of times they don't want layups. They want to shoot threes. So Austin Reeves just simply, I mean, granted LeBron falls down, but still a bad pass. Austin Reeves he's playing defense the classic one. Now, granted, there's not a whole lot he can do because it's a 3-on-2 fast break. He can't go and guard Trae at the 3-point line because then the ball handler is going to go right to the basket. Same for Torian Prince. Torian Prince can't stop ball, or he can't guard the shooter on the left because the ball's just going to go to the layup. But at the same time, where are the rest of the Lakers? Granted, LeBron fell down, but that still leaves 2 other Lakers that could have run back with this. This ends up being a 4-on-2 fast break, and Trae Young has another 3-point shot. Look how wide open he is. He's going to make that, like I said, 7 out of 10 times. And tonight he was 6 for 9 because most of his three-point attempts were that open. Now here's where I kind of realized that D'Angelo Russell is like James Harden. This is a James Harden possession. When you think about what D'Angelo Russell can do offensively for the team, there's not a whole lot he can do to make the team better. He can run a pick and roll with Anthony Davis. He can shoot spot up threes. But what else can he do? He can take somebody one-on-one, but what does that really do to your team? It takes a lot of seconds off the shot clock. There's no movement on this offense because they're just ball watching D'Angelo Russell. Like, this is a James Harden possession. And he ends up making it. And he makes it for 2. But at this point, the Lakers are down 17. Like, they need more dynamic offense. They need faster offense. They spent 6-7 seconds just watching him dribble and shoot a mid-range basket. It's just not what the Lakers need. This possession leads to another Atlanta Hawks 3. And let's take a look and see exactly how that happens. So one of the problems defensively has been the lack of help. Now, granted, Christian Wood is kind of in no man's land here, but here's kind of the problem. You've got 3 Laker jerseys in the paint, 2 Atlanta Hawks in the paint. D'Angelo's guarding Boyan, as he should. Vando is guarding, I believe that's Trae, but now Vando's got to leave his man. It's a late contest. Now you got 4 Lakers in the paint. There's 3 Atlanta Hawks there. It's just, It's pitiful 3 point line defense. There's not anything he can really do about that. Boyan wasn't exactly open, but it wasn't exactly a great defense from D'Angelo Russell either. So, or a great contest from D'Angelo Russell either. Boyan just simply went off. Now, one of the things that might happen in this trade with the Atlanta Hawks is Boyan might be one of the guys coming back, and so here's what I'd like if the trade with the Hawks does happen. So Dejounte, D'Lo, that seems to be the main one for one there. The Lakers got to try to get more. Like I think it'd be nice to get Clint Capella because again, I love the Twin Tower philosophy. I think the Twin Tower philosophy works for this Lakers team. Darvin Ham doesn't. Every time I've seen Christian Wood and Anthony Davis play together, it works. Last year, I was adamant that Mo Bamba would have worked had Darvin Ham just played him, and he never did. If Clint Capella were to come over in the trade, my worry is that Darvin Ham will just never play him. But man, Clint Capella and Anthony Davis together would absolutely work. And if you could somehow manage to get Boyan Bogdanovich as a third player in that deal for D'Lo and like maybe Gabe Vincent or Cam Reddish, maybe Max Christie. Although I really like Max Christie, like Dejounte Capella Boyan is a hell of a haul. And even though the Hawks aren't that great right now, those three players around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I think, would excel. When Austin Reeves is that open, he'll go ahead and make that basket, which is nice. Now this is just bad defense from Vando. There's not a whole lot Vando can do. That's just simply that's not exactly bad defense. And I'll take that back. It's just a great pass from Trae Young. Again, now that's terrible pick and roll defense. Now here is one of the more frustrating plays of the night, and it kind of epitomizes the Lakers season as a whole. It happened in the Rockets game last night. Rockets got a fast break. Anthony Davis got back on defense, got a block. None of the other Lakers got back, so they got the offensive rebound, gave up second chance points. Same exact thing happens on this possession. Here you're going to have Atlanta get a rebound or a turnover. They're going to quick outlets all the way to half court. The ball doesn't even touch the ground. Goes straight to Boyan. Now look at where look at where LeBron is. This is the effort LeBron is giving to this team. LeBron is at the 3 point line. Boyan is 6 feet from the basket. LeBron's going to make this block. Now, Austin Reeves did everything he could. This isn't Austin Reeves' fault. He made Boyan second step to kind of give LeBron a little bit more time to make this block. But where are the other Lakers? Where are the other Lakers? And that is that walk right there from LeBron. That's the most frustrated I've ever seen him. I've never seen him that frustrated. I've never seen him that just, and he's exhibited bad body language to his teammates before, but that's just inexcusable, that kind of effort. Here you're going to see the Lakers give up another three. Let's examine what's going on. So you've got Jalen Johnson backing up to the baseline to take a three, and Taurean Prince is in a close enough to position to contest. And he's still in a close enough to position to contest there. But here you got the help from LeBron. Now this is just great play from DeJounte Murray. So you got the double team from LeBron. He recognizes that Saddiq Bey is open. It's going to force Taurean Prince to step up and help. But again, that's just good offensive from Atlanta. It leaves Austin Reeves way out of position to help. And then you got Jalen Johnson just shooting a wide open three. And this kind of might sum up D'Angelo Russell's career as a Laker, or at least this season as a Laker, or maybe the last few weeks. Lackadaisical bringing it up. He's versus DeJounte Murray. Lazy screen from Vando. Even lazier pass from DeJounte coming up. Doesn't see Jalen Johnson there. Easy steal for Jalen Johnson. He can't get back in time, so that's not really his fault. But bad pass from D'Angelo Russell. Lazy pass from D'Angelo Russell. Nice drive from Austin Reeves here. Again, Austin Reeves might lack some defensively, but you've got to build a scheme around him defensively if you're going to try to hide him. Which, I mean, even then, Austin Reeves is a capable defender. He's just one-on-one sometimes when people are taller and bigger than him. It's just hard for anybody. And this is 2 minutes and 43 seconds of garbage time. That Laker whose name I forget. This is all garbage time. This was, and the Hawks are still having their way with the Lakers at this point with 93 seconds left, and game's pretty much over at this point. And let's just have one more three. Why not? It is the fourth game in a row that the Lakers have given up 130 points, 130 or more points, which is an NBA record. So kudos to the Lakers for doing that. Uh, it's man, frustrating as all heck. At this point, I don't know what you can really say. Or trading deadline's coming up. Today's January 31st. That leaves 9 days. There, there's just not a lot out there. There's not a lot the Lakers can do. They can't do a lot on the buyout market. This trade with the Hawks seems to be the only one on the table. Potentially, there's the Bulls, but again, Zach LaVine, with everything Zach LaVine does, I don't think he does anything to impact winning basketball. Now, you can make that same argument for DeJounte Murray, but the thing about DeJounte Murray, and I guess you can say the thing about Zach LaVine, is they're not coming to the Lakers to make impactful winning basketball. They're there to complement LeBron and AD, and that's kind of the bulk of it. Is I don't know how much D'Angelo Russell really complements LeBron. He complements AD pretty well. Zach LaVine, I think, would be a better complement to LeBron and AD, and DeJounte Murray, I think, would be a fantastic one. Um, if this was his, if this was his audition for the Lakers, it was a fantastic one. He had a brilliant game tonight. DeJounte or D'Angelo Russell had a pretty terrible game. It's yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's becoming frustrating to watch this season. It's kind of a bummer that I figured out this video thing now and the Lakers are terrible. It'd be a lot more fun if the Lakers were good and these highlights were actually fun to watch, but they're not. But maybe someday they will be. Uh, and here's the thing also about a D'Angelo Russell trade is it's going to be hard to. The Hawks have to find a third team because I don't think the Hawks want him, and the fans certainly don't want him, as they made evident last night in this clip here. So what do you do? I mean, if the Hawks take him, the fans have to accept him. Maybe they won't. I feel bad for him. I feel bad that it's not working out this season, and I feel bad that he's going to essentially be the sacrificial lamb. But that's how it goes sometimes. And yeah, yeah, what a frustrating night. Just not a good night again for the Lakers, and maybe happier days are to come. But the Lakers are on this road trip. Next, they have the Boston Celtics on Thursday, the New York Knicks on Saturday. That should be a good game. LeBron always seems to get up for playing in Madison Square Garden, so hopefully he gets up for that game as well. Then they've got the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets, please beat the Charlotte Hornets. My God. After that, you got the Denver Nuggets, Pelicans, and you got the Pistons. Please beat the Pistons. But yeah, up until the All-Star break, after the Pistons, you've got the Jazz, and then you've got the All-Star break after Valentine's Day. So the Lakers schedule is up. So you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, of which for sure wins. And again, the way this Lakers team has played, and LeBron's quote said it, on any given night they can beat any team in the NBA or they can get their ass kicked. Out of the next 7 games, the Lakers can easily win 3 of them. Now, can they win 5 of it? Can they steal 2 more? of those 7 wins. You can't lose to Charlotte. You can't lose to Detroit. You could lose to Utah, but really try not to lose to Utah. And then you got the Pelicans, the Knicks, and the Celtics. The Celtics is almost certainly a loss, which is going to be a bummer, but it is what it is. That's going to about do it for this episode of the Ethos Lakers podcast, YouTube show, whatever. Anyway, hope you had fun. Hope I'm getting better at this. If you have any feedback, let me know. This is new to me. I'm going to work on getting a better camera at some point that doesn't have this weird glary thing. And yeah, enjoy my poster of Harley Quinn back there. But yeah, until next time, I'm your host, JC DeLeon. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at JCDeLeon1. You can follow the show on those same platforms at Ethos Lakers. And until next time, we are out.